What's up, guys? I'm back again with another video, of course. And today I actually wanted to talk about the Loyalists. And believe it or not, I didn't even know there were such thing as the Loyalists. I didn't even know they existed. But that's just because of my ignorance, and not really diving into the books and finding out exactly everything that went on. So that's just my fault. But what I realized, and the only reason I know about the Loyalists now is because I actually saw a video, and it was on, I think it was called Yale Courses, and there was a Professor Freeman, and she was actually talking about the Loyalists, and I think she did a real good job. I'm gonna put a link maybe in my the description, and I think she does a good job in describing the type of environment that people lived in at the time, and the type of I don't know, the thoughts and feelings that were going on both sides. So yeah, but I wanted to make this video because I actually was gonna write it down on a website that I actually go to. It's called the Daily Paul, and I was gonna actually create a thread, but my phone ran out of power, so I'm not gonna write it over again. It was too long, so I'm just gonna make a video. But I'm gonna try to keep it short. But I actually agree with both sides, which is crazy, because well, for example, the First Continental Congress, when they came up with the what was it called, the Suffolk resolutions, I believe, and it was like just grievances that they had with Parliament, and they gave it to they introduced it to Parliament and basically said this is what the colonies are feeling, and you have to change or we're gonna go to war, basically. But Professor Freeman said something that made sense to me. She said that there were loyalists out there that felt that yeah, they were pissed off at Parliament. You know what I mean? But they felt that we shouldn't start a war. We shouldn't go to war with our country, our I don't know, what do you call it? Like their father country, that they came from, and they're gonna be fighting their brothers, basically. They go, maybe when they see the fact that there's so much resistance, that the king will understand what we're going through, and change. So there were loyalists out there that felt maybe we could work it out somehow. And I was like, wow. But the loyalists, I forgot. She said something that kind of hit home, and she said there were some loyalists that said that these men that were at the First Continental Congress, they're acting like they speak for everyone in the colonies. And I said, whoa, yeah. Like, who do you think you are to try to speak for other people? You know what I mean? Like, no, just like that. What I'm saying, everybody feels this way. Everybody. No, you know what I mean. So what's crazy is that I understand what the loyalists were saying, because it's true. These men that didn't know exactly what everybody was feeling. You know what I mean? Now I'm sure the majority of the people felt like that, but there was still a minority of people, the loyalists, that didn't feel that way. They still felt that we could work it out, and you know we didn't want to dissolve our government. So I started thinking, right? And I realized, because I'm an anarchist, okay, I don't believe in rulers. So this is my the way I would have handled it. I would have handled it. Um, First off, I'm not starting a Congress. I'm not starting a Continental Congress. And hey, get inside. Come on. Sorry, my dogs. But I'm not starting a Continental Congress, and think that I could talk on behalf of the people. I only could speak for myself. You know, so like the balls of these guys that think that they could speak for other people, because this is what happened. These guys were opportunists, man. When they met in what 1774, when they met in 1774 in Philadelphia, the men that were in there, they were meeting, These guys, most of them were politicians. You know what I mean? So and we already know how we feel about politicians. They're scumbags. They're devils. So they're opportunists. They saw an opportunity to basically start another system. You know what I mean? Start another system and reap the rewards of it. And that's basically what happened. So honestly, if I was, if I were living in that time, and I wouldn't even be able to live at that time. Oh my God, I wouldn't have no say in anything. Like, you see my color, you know. But let's throw that aside. But if I was living at that time, I would once we actually supposedly beat the British, which I don't think we did, but let's say we beat the British, you know, and George Washington gives his speech to his troops, and he goes into La La Land and retires supposedly onto his farm. He doesn't want to be king, right? What I would have done was any type of government that they try to set up, I'll destroy it. Anybody that was in that was at that Continental Congress, no matter how noble they were, you have to take everybody out. These men are gonna set up the same system that we had in England, and that they did. And now look at us. Nothing's changed. Nothing has changed. So the loyalists are just the same people that exist today. The same people that excuse Obama or Bush or Clinton. You know, because I used to say I believe in total freedom, right? And my boy used to say, "What if somebody wants to set up another government?" And I used to say, "I'm okay with that, as long as they don't push their beliefs upon me and try to get me to and try to govern me. You know, as long as they set up their government and they want to control their own people, that's fine." But then I realized, no, that's not fine, because that government's gonna eventually try to control me, even if they say that they're not. Because maybe when they're small, of course, they're not gonna come out and start acting like a dictator right away. You can't, because the people are gonna rise up and destroy it. It's so small, anyways. You know. So it's just like a treaty. You know what I mean? Like when you promise something, you know. But we know how treaties are nothing. Look, ask the natives about treaties. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't be able to put up with somebody trying to start another government. I couldn't. They should have listened to Patrick Henry when he said, you know, we're in nature. You know what I mean? Like you don't govern the animals, right? They're all free. You know. Well, I guess maybe some of us do. You know, we start farms and you know whatever. But yeah, poor Patrick Henry at the first Continental Congress over here trying to tell everybody that we're free and that we should be one with nature. They're like, yeah, sure, sure, yeah. Pfft, get out of here with that junk. You know what I mean? See, I guess Patrick Henry was a radical because he saw the oppression of the parliament. But so everybody was on the same page. Like, we don't want parliament, basically. Not everybody, but you know what I'm trying to say. You know, but these guys, the only reason why they didn't want to put up a parliament is because they wanted to start their own system to enslave their own people, and that's it. And that's why in my last video, which one? What was it called? Not anarchy is the answer. Oh yeah, the Revolutionary War was fake. In that video, I talk about the Treaty of Paris and the fact that Benjamin Franklin negotiated with the king, you know, on certain waters where we could fish, and the fact that we're gonna negotiate with him and maybe give him some gold and silver and all this stuff. Why are you negotiating with the loser if we supposed to beat him? You know what I mean? It was all fake. It was all fake. We didn't beat nobody. You know what I mean? So I don't know how it happened. I don't know, like, because I know people died. I know people fought. You know what I mean? Just like people are dying on the war on terrorism, but the war on terrorism, come on, you know what I mean? Like we create this terrorism. You know, we are the terrorists. We created Al Qaeda. We created them to fight against the Russians. You know what I mean? So I'm telling you, there is no war on terrorism. We are the terrorists. You know. So it's just like the Revolutionary War. I don't think there was actual war. People fought and died, but it was for nothing. It was for nothing. It was just to be enslaved into another system. And I don't like it's so hard to explain. I hope you understand what I'm trying to tell you, you know? But yeah, the loyalists are no better than the people that exist now. So what I'm trying to say is that, let's say we do have a total state of anarchy. I wouldn't be able to allow somebody to set up another government. And I know what you said, but that goes against everything you believe in. You say you believe in freedom. Well, they should have the freedom to start another government. Wrong. Because that affects me. Because eventually that government's going to initiate force upon me and then control my people. You know? So I can't. I can't. It's just like somebody with a gun. If they're drunk and they're over here waving it around, you know what I mean? I'm going to try to disarm that guy because he could kill me, you know? Self-preservation is a powerful thing. You know, he could eventually hurt himself also, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm thinking about myself, you know what I mean? My family. So you can't allow these people that are brainwashed, that you call loyalists, to start another government. They're dangerous. Oh, I wish I was around in for that first Continental Congress. I wish I was around. You can't allow them to do that. You can't allow them to do that. You would have to take them all out. I don't care who was in there. Thomas Jefferson, George Washington. You have to take them all out. But nobody did. And then you had Shays Rebellion, and oh man, we need another Shays Rebellion. Close down the courts. And then now that was a man who wasn't afraid to step up to the system and fight the system and bring it down. But he failed, of course, you know. But that's what we need, another Shays Rebellion. Peace, guys. Subscribe.